I can't wait for the New Year's party, I said, putting the invitation and event schedule on the kitchen table. Seafood catering, DJ until 3 a.m. Rooftop view. This year's going to be different. Mom didn't even look at me, just kept slicing cheese calmly. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, she said. You're not going. I froze. What? We're going to the party, I said. She moved the cheese into a container. Your dad, me, and Ryan. I stared. You mean the party I paid for? Dad, not even looking up from his newspaper, said, technically, yeah, but Ryan really needs this. You know what he's been through. I looked at my brother, who was standing in the doorway holding his youngest. He didn't look uncomfortable at all. Kelly's been a nightmare, he said like that explained everything. The kids are nonstop. I haven't had a break in weeks. So you're taking my spot? I asked. At the party I paid for with my own money? You'll be doing something more important, Mom said. You're staying home with the kids. Ryan needs a break. Are you serious? I asked. We're just asking you to help out, she said. No, I said. You're not asking. You already decided. Ryan shrugged. Come on, man. It's just one night. The kids love being with you. I laughed once. Of course they do. I'm the only one who actually takes care of them. What's your tone? Dad said, still reading his paper. Oh, and one more thing, Mom added. Ryan's going to be staying with you for a while. What? He can't afford rent after the divorce? I asked, like it was obvious. He'll move into your apartment with the boys, just until things calm down, she said. I stared at her. You decided to move him and his kids into my place without asking? You live alone, Dad said flatly. There's room. I looked around. Mom was still chopping, Dad still reading, and Ryan was flipping through TV channels like he lived here. They'd all decided this before I even walked in. Fine, I said quietly. Go have fun. Mom looked up at me. Really? Really? I turned and went to my room, shutting the door behind me. They thought I was sulking. I wasn't. I was figuring out how to make sure this was the last time they used me like this. I went back to my apartment that night and just sat there in the dark. They'd already decided. The party wasn't mine anymore. My apartment wasn't mine anymore. And apparently neither was my money. But this wasn't new. It had been building for months. Ryan moved back in with our parents after the divorce. First, he said it was temporary, just until he found a new place. He told me that was 5 months ago. Since then, every conversation was about how hard things were, how Kelly left him with nothing, how the legal bills were piling up, how tough it was being a single dad. I listened. I helped. I even gave him money. Small things at first. Can you cover the kids' school shoes? Do you mind grabbing diapers? Hey, man, can I borrow $100 to fix the stroller? And of course, I always said yes. I told myself it was short term, but then the asks got bigger. One week it was $300 just to catch up on a bill. The next, groceries, then gas money, then Christmas presents for the kids because Kelly was being difficult. I didn't keep track at first. I should have. By mid-December, I had already sent over $1,000, and not once did he say thank you. Hey, Ryan, he said one afternoon while we were in the car, are you still living alone? Yeah, I said slowly. Nice, your place has that second room, right? I nodded, but something in his voice made my stomach twist. He grinned. Would be easier if I just moved in with you. I mean, no offense, but you don't even use that room. It's just sitting there. Are you serious? What? It makes sense. I already feel like I'm crashing at Mom's forever. It's getting weird. You've got space, no kids, no girlfriend. I didn't answer. Later that night, Mom called. We've been thinking, she said. It would be really helpful if Ryan and the boys stayed with you after New Year's. What? I asked. It's not permanent, she added quickly, just until he figures things out. He needs a fresh start, and your place is quiet. It'll be good for the boys. You talked to Ryan about this? I asked. We all did, she said, like that was normal. He's excited. He says the kids love you. That's great, I muttered, because I haven't agreed to anything. She paused. Then don't make this about you. He's struggling. That was the line I'd heard all year. Every time I tried to push back, it was, don't be selfish. Every dollar I gave, it was, you don't have kids. You can afford it. Every holiday, every favor, every weekend spent babysitting, it was just help out a little. They called it family, but I was starting to realize what it really was, a one-way street, and I was always the one giving. The next morning, Ryan texted me a picture of bunk beds. Think this setup would fit in the extra room? No. Can we talk? No. Are you okay with this? Just an assumption. I stared at my phone for a long time. Then, I opened my banking app, looked at the transfers, the cash, the gift cards, the birthday presents, the pizza nights, the school trips, the utilities I paid, just this once. I added it up in my head, my jaw clenched. Over $2,000 gone since summer, and now he wanted my space too. I felt something hard settle in my chest. No one ever asked how I was doing. No one cared what I was giving up. They just wanted more. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, my mind racing with everything I should have said, everything I should have done sooner, and around 3 a.m. I stopped thinking. I started doing. First, I pulled out my laptop and canceled every booking, the rooftop venue, the DJ, the seafood catering, the champagne order. Then I called my bank and reversed every charge I'd made for the New Year's Eve party. Each cancellation felt like a cut rope. Then I opened another tab and listed my apartment for sale. January 2nd arrived. The air was cold, the sky dull, but I felt sharper than ever. I had already moved into a short-term rental across town. Nothing fancy, just clean, quiet mind. I packed 2 suitcases and left everything else behind. No calls, no texts, just vanished. But not without leaving something behind. At my old place, I taped a large envelope to the front door, a thick, heavy folder with Ryan Grant written across the top in red marker, and in the front yard, a bright red and white for sale sign hammered straight into the frozen lawn. 3:27 p.m. My phone lit up. Ryan, on the way over. Kids are excited. Got all our stuff packed. I didn't answer. I was sitting in a cafe a few blocks away, watching it all unfold from a live security feed I'd installed a week earlier, just in case. 15 minutes later, he pulled up in the minivan, kids in the back seat, boxes, bags, a plastic storage bin full of toys in the trunk. He parked, got out, stretched, and smiled like he'd just arrived at Disneyland. And then he froze. His eyes landed on the sign. He stood there, staring at the bold letters, for sale. The smile disappeared. He walked up the steps. The door didn't open. The lock had been changed. Then he saw the folder. He ripped it from the door, opened it, and started flipping through the contents. That's when the show really began. Inside the folder. Page 1, a printed screenshot of the cancelled venue reservation. Page 2, email confirmation that catering had been refunded, including the line, client requested full reversal due to fraudulent family interference. Page 3, a spreadsheet of every dollar I'd given Ryan over the past 12 months, rent, groceries, kids' clothes, school fees. It was itemized, dated, totaled at the bottom, $3,845.77, unpaid, unacknowledged, unappreciated. Page 4, a letter addressed to him. Ryan, you assumed too much for too long. You thought I'd always say yes. You thought I had nothing better to do than waste my time, money, and energy on your problems. You were wrong. This isn't your home, your safety net, or a fresh start. The only thing waiting for you is the truth that your free ride is over. Happy New Year. Inside the folder. Page 5, a photo, a screenshot, from a call where you joked, my brother's a failure, but he owes mom, so it works out. Page 6, a copy of the agreement with the realtor. Page 7, a notice saying the property is listed for sale. Page 8, a confirmation that my address was changed. Page 9, a form showing the transfer of utilities. Page 10, a blank eviction form, just to show you know it's final. He stood there reading each page until his face changed from red to white. Then one of his sons shouted from the back seat, "Daddy, can we go in?" He didn't answer. He just clutched the folder as if it had exploded in his hands. A few minutes later, Mom and Dad pulled up, planning to help Ryan move in. When Mom saw the for sale sign, she stopped dead in her tracks. "Is this a joke?" she asked. Ryan silently handed her the folder. As she flipped through it, her face fell, first at the list of money I had given him, then at the letter, then at the call screenshot where I was called a failure. Dad sighed deeply and said nothing. Mom turned sharply to Ryan. "Did you really say that?" Ryan mumbled, "It was a joke." Dad looked from the house to the sign and finally at the kids in the car. "He's gone," he said quietly. Mom's phone buzzed with a group message from me. "Don't contact me, not about the apartment, babysitting, or money. You made your choices, I've made mine, I'm done." That night, I didn't go to any party, I didn't pop champagne or count down the minutes. Instead, I sat alone on the floor of my new place. I made a frozen pizza, watched a silly action movie, and slept soundly, because, for the first time, I didn't owe anyone anything. No one was going to come knocking with boxes anymore. For the first 24 hours, it was completely quiet. I kept my phone off, didn't check my email, and stayed off social media. I hoped they'd understood my message by now, but of course, they hadn't. On the evening of January 3rd, my silence was broken. While walking home from the grocery store, I saw several missed calls, 6 from Mom, 4 from Ryan, 2 from Dad, and 1 unknown number. I switched my phone off again. I didn't want to see more messages. I already knew what they would say. That night, they showed up at my new rental. First, there was a knock on the door. I opened it reluctantly and found Mom standing there. She looked exhausted, with smudged makeup and tired, red eyes. Ryan was behind her, arms crossed, and Dad was a few feet away, silent. "We need to talk," Mom said. "No, we don't," I replied, beginning to close the door. "You blindsided us," she pushed back. "I was protecting myself," I calmly answered. "You humiliated your family. Ryan didn't deserve that," she snapped. I laughed bitterly. He didn't deserve to be handed a printed list of everything I did for him. He never even got a thank you for once. Ryan stepped forward and raised his voice. "You ambushed me. You could have talked to me like a man, like how you talked about me with your friend, calling me a failure and saying I owe Mom." His face turned red. "That was a joke, a pattern. Really, you used me for years until I finally said no," I shot back. Dad then said, "You didn't have to destroy everything, the party, the apartment, the folder. The folder was the only way to make you listen." "I said you wouldn't stop until I burned the bridge," I replied. Mom gave me a tight, angry smile, the kind that usually meant guilt-tripping was coming. "We're your family, but I'm not your servant," I snapped. "You can't come here and demand an explanation. I don't owe you one." She looked like she might slap me, but instead, she took a deep breath and stepped back. "You'll regret this one day. You'll see how selfish you were." I replied, "No, one day you'll realize you lost the only person who ever held this mess together." Then I closed the door. Over the next few days, I expected more contact. They came in forms of texts, guilt-filled emails, and voicemails. Ryan even sent a card with his kids saying, "We miss you, Uncle." I didn't answer. Instead, I started therapy and fixed my finances. I set up a second bank account, canceled my old credit card, and changed all my passwords. I told my boss I needed time off, and she granted me a week with no questions asked. For once, I spent time doing nothing for anyone else. Then something unexpected happened. A week after everything exploded, I got a call from an unknown number. Normally I wouldn't have picked up, but something made me answer. "Hello?" I said. After a pause, a soft voice asked, "Is this Michael?" "Yes, it is," I replied. "My name is Karen. I'm Kelly's sister." I felt uneasy. "Kelly, Ryan's ex, the kid's mother. I just wanted to thank you for everything you did for the kids, for Kelly, and even for Ryan, even though he never appreciated it." I was speechless. She continued, "Kelly told me about the money, your moving plans, the party, and the folder. She said she never wanted them to move in with you, that Ryan did it all behind her back. She only found out when the kids came back crying because they couldn't go to Uncle Michael's anymore. She was furious and said he had no right. She asked me to tell you she's sorry for everything." I listened in silence as Karen said, "I don't know if you know, but Ryan tried to take out a loan in your name." I was shocked when Kelly found the paperwork. "He used your information." She stopped it by threatening to call the police, "and he backed down, but you should check your credit report." I said nothing. Karen's voice trembled as she added, "I know you're done with them, and honestly, you should be. I just wanted to say thank you for not becoming like the rest of them." Then the call ended. I sat for a long time. Finally, I opened my laptop and checked my credit report. Sure enough, there was a hard inquiry from a loan company I had never contacted. He really tried, and that folder saved me from something much worse. They all thought I was dramatic, overreacting, cruel, but the truth was, I dodged a bullet. I always thought cutting someone off would feel violent, like slamming a door, yelling, or burning a bridge while watching it crumble, but in reality, it felt like a deep, necessary silence. It's been a month since I shut the door on them, all of them, my family, the party, the guilt, the never-ending demands. I wake up in a new apartment, walk on different streets, drink coffee alone, and no one calls me to run errands or pick up diapers. My phone is quiet, but it isn't empty. For the first time in years, that quiet feels like freedom. I began serious therapy and told my whole story, from the part where I paid for everything to the part where my brother called me a failure. And when my parents said I didn't need anything because I had no responsibilities, my therapist asked a question that hit me hard. What happens when you stop being useful? I already knew the answer. They dropped me long ago. They loved me only for what I did for them, not for who I am. Realizing that hurt, but it also made space for me. Now, my credit is locked, my bank accounts are separate, and I reported the attempted loan fraud anonymously. Kelly later asked if I wanted to press charges. I said, no, I don't want revenge, I just want distance. Since then, Ryan hasn't tried to reach out, and neither have mom or dad. The last thing they sent was a group message saying, "You're dead to this family." It should have hurt, but it didn't, it only confirmed what I already knew. Then something unexpected happened. A week ago, I received an email from Ryan's ex-wife, Kelly. The subject read "Thank you." In it, she explained she filed for full custody, moved out of state with the boys, and found a better job, a better school, and a better life. She wrote, "I always thought you were the quiet one, the background guy, but now I see you were the only stable one. You held everything together while the rest of us used you. I'm sorry I didn't speak up sooner. The boys miss you. I'll never speak badly of you to them. If you ever want to write, they'd love to hear from you." I cried reading her message, not because I wanted them back, but because for the first time someone truly saw me and thanked me, not with words like selfish or dramatic, but simply, "Thank you." That meant more than anything I'd ever heard from my own parents. I don't regret what I did. Selling the condo was the best decision of my life. Cutting them off was long overdue. And that folder? It was meant to be read. Would I do it all over again in a heartbeat? They thought they broke me. They thought I'd come crawling back, feel guilty, or feel alone. But here's the truth, I don't feel alone. I feel clean. I feel whole. For the first time, I own something they can never take from me. If you're reading this and feel like your family only calls when they need something, if you've ever missed your own life because you were always helping others, remember this: you're allowed to leave. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to pack up, walk away, and never come back. You don't owe them your life just because you're related. You don't owe them silence. You owe yourself everything you've been giving away. And when they call you selfish, just smile.